to 12, City Park, Bradford. Today with Pulse 1, Love Bradford, we are attempting to break the Guinness World Record to create the longest chain of people making heart-shaped hand gestures. You can register in 10 minutes just over at the green gazebo. We need as many as possible to break the record. Over 2,000 people. Lots of schools coming from all across West Yorkshire, but we could do with your help today. You could be a part of history and get yourself in the record books. It's exciting. I've never been involved in anything like this before. It's a very special day. Mr. Weather has been very kind to us. We've got the guys as well here today from NHS Bradford's Healthy Hearts team. They're carrying out blood pressure checks today at the Pulse 1 and Pulse 2 gazebos. You'll find those just a little over there. Lots of guests here today as well. I'm on the stage and joined now by Tracy. Tracy Gaston, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
It's a perfect day. Come a little further over this way. What a venue to attempt the world record.
It's fantastic. The weather couldn't be better.
I bet you woke up like me this morning thinking, oh no, it's a bit misty. We're never going to see anybody at City Park.
I did indeed.
Now, Tracy, you're the Clinical Commissioning Group Pharmacist. What does that involve?
It basically involves looking after the medicines and monitoring what all the GPs prescribe in the whole of Bradford.
That's a big job, isn't it?
Yeah.
How long have you done that for?
Since the CCG was formed, which is 3.5 years ago.
Good stuff, exciting. So, what is Bradford's Healthy Hearts then?
It's a campaign that we've started because Bradford has one of the worst outcomes for people with heart disease in the country. So we've got a campaign going that basically looks for people to actually monitor their blood pressure and other things that affect the hearts. Today we're actually launching the blood pressure campaign, but we've been doing this for about 18 months, so we've done various other campaigns, so we've looked for other different conditions that all relate to heart disease.
I guess there's a lot of people out there potentially that have never had blood pressure taken or go to the doctor with a cold and the doctor routinely will give them a blood pressure check, but it is important to know your numbers, isn't it?
It is. What we're asking people today for is that they can either go to the doctors, because most of the doctors have got blood pressure machines within the surgery. They don't actually need to make an appointment at all, or they can go to some of the pharmacies, or they can monitor them in their own homes. But we want people to monitor their blood pressure because we know that we are underdiagnosing people with high blood pressure or hypertension.
And I suppose there's people here today saying, when is my blood pressure too high?
We want them to know their number. So the number that we're looking for is if your blood pressure is higher than 140 over 90, then on 2 separate occasions they need to follow that up with a healthcare professional.
Obviously there's a variety of things that make heart pressure high in the first place, but there is a list, isn't there? A lot of people would maybe put it down to anxiety and stress, diet, fitness. What would you say?
Yeah, we're focusing on 5 main key areas. That's being overweight, having too much salt in your diet, not taking enough exercise, drinking too much, and the 5th one is about your genetics and what you've developed from family members, and that is something you can't do anything about, but the other 4 are things you can.
I suppose the thing is as well, being undiagnosed, and I guess if you've never had a blood pressure check you would never know that you would have a high reading. I suppose, you know, if you go undiagnosed, that's a very risky thing, isn't it?
It is, because most people with high blood pressure don't know, because they have very little or very few symptoms that literally you don't know. And in Bradford at the moment, we think there's probably up to 50,000 people who have got high blood pressure but are not diagnosed.
So why should people get their blood pressure checked then?
So that we can actually, if you get the blood pressure checked and they find it's high, we can give them advice on how to reduce it, and if that doesn't work we can then give them medicines that will bring the blood pressure down and then will reduce the risk of any further events.
So obviously they can get tested here today at the Pulse 1 and Pulse 2 gazebo, which is situated, by the way, just over there. You can do that for free from midday today. Where else can they get their blood pressure checked if they can't or don't want to today?
If they don't want to today, quite a lot of pharmacies do it, and you don't need to book at most pharmacies. You can have a machine at home, which a lot of people do, or the 3rd way is a lot of the doctors have the machines in reception, or you can book an appointment with a healthcare worker at the doctor's surgery if you're worried about your blood pressure.
We touched on a variety of things that could prevent high blood pressure. What would you say, again, were the key things to avoid it?
So what you need to do to reduce it is you need to lose weight, get fit, reduce your alcohol, reduce your salt, and stop smoking.
Nice that you looked at me when you said lose weight and cut down on alcohol. You give me that little look. Hey, listen, thank you for being here today. Guys, free blood pressure check just over there at the Pulse One gazebo from midday today. Tracy, thank you for joining us on the stage. And thanks to the lady down here for filming it. This is going to be on your Twitter feed as well, isn't it?